Hello, everyone. My name is Danteria Blakeney, and today I want to talk with you all about the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act, gun control laws, and how social workers promote changes within these policies and these laws. The Brady Handgun Violent Prevention Act was implemented in 1993, and after the 2018 massive shooting at the Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkman, Florida, the House basically passed two gun control bills. One of those bills are, as you all may already know, background checks, which was implemented to public and private salesmen, and also a time limit slash wait to conduct the background checks on a gun purchasers. The wait is about 3 to 10 business days. It is based all systematically. Since the act was passed, the federal government requires all guns to be purchased with a license and including background checks. I am a licensed carrier, and my process of going through the background check was really, really long. You basically just have to fill out a bunch of paperwork and wait to be, I guess, approved. If you don't have any criminal background records or history, it's an easy approval. But if you do have any criminal records or issues, then you could be ineligible for a firearm. Since Years later, the National Instant Criminal Background Check System was implemented, which is also known as the NICS, which is basically a system, an electronic system that verifies buyers, not having a criminal record, mental issue, health issues, or anything pertaining violence, which can make you ineligible, as I said earlier, to purchase or own a firearm. This current policy on gun control and background checks are targeting social issues because the bills basically should be enhanced where we could see more benefits from the national system of background checks and the 3 to 10 business days wait. A lot of people feel that the 3 to 10 business days is not long enough, and could be implemented with better restrictions. Basically, people are saying that the bill should be enhanced and have more restrictions on criminals who are having access to owning firearms. Some strengths and weaknesses of this bill addresses to prevent ineligible buyers for having a gun and basically engaging in criminal activities. And the causes and concerns of excuse me, individuals purchasing a firearm but do not completely qualify because of an incomplete or failed background check. As you all may know, there is a thing called a default process, where if a person basically it doesn't complete their background check, they can basically put the application or whatever in another person's name. And after 3 days, they basically qualify. The law says that after 3 days, if a background check is incomplete, that they have to go ahead and sell the buyer the firearm, basically because incomplete information. So a lot of people are agreeing, in which I totally disagree with that. And it should be more restrictions, required to that issue. The recommendations for the CS Act and the Brady Violence Prevention Act. Um, Basically, the recommendations are can implement and enhance more changes, such as in cases where I was saying earlier, where there is a delay in a background check. Basically, the federal government should carefully investigate, physically, not electronically, the individual's background, and basically end background checks for that individual indefinitely, for the safety of others, and basically to successfully promote and enhance the safety of our citizens, in our local communities. As a social worker, I am totally for others and totally, I'm sorry, I am totally for the the laws and the acts, but I am totally against gun violence and anything dealing with violence. As a social worker, I feel that preventing gun laws are basically preventing gun deaths. I grew up in a community where all you hear are gunshots, and all you hear about is bad news. We have a First 48 here in Birmingham, which is a television media program where they just basically talk about homicides, that, cases and cases after cases. And I feel like it's because the federal government aren't enhancing and enforcing restrictions on our gun laws. And I basically feel like if the federal government would push for a significant reduction, in our gun violence and gun laws, then America would definitely be a safer place. And there probably would be lesser cases of gun violence and deaths, accidental, suicidal, intentionally, all of that. I truly believe that that would be a difference and a change. The Brady Act and the NASW, I'm not sure if you all are aware, but while doing research on these acts and gun violence, I came across something that reads, an article that reads a little bit about the Brady Violence Handgun Prevention Act, and the NASW, basically are collaborating on gun safety programs where they can reduce gun deaths, suicide prevention, accidental gun deaths, and domestic violence cases, and injuries. So I thought, as a social worker, that's really unique, and I really want to learn more about those programs. So I'm going to do a little bit more research about that. Lastly, I just want to say that me being a licensed carrier for a firearm, I don't own a firearm, but I do have my license. All because, as a young woman, I work late, and I feel that it's, a safety reason for me. I do look forward to, once I have a home, to maybe purchase a firearm for the safety of my family and my community, local community. But right now, I don't even know how to hardly work a firearm. But I grew up around them. My grandparents, my mom, everyone having them, going hunting and stuff like that. But I've never been a big fan. But I do strongly encourage everyone, as a young woman, as an African American, and as a social worker, to protect yourselves. And get licensed, get licensed, all because it's the law. basically, and you have to obey the law. Lastly, I just want to say thank you all for listening, and taking this time out to review. And if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to comment or respond. And thank you.